of someone who is a good listener an absolutely extraordinary experience. Because a good listener has the ability to actually just listen. You know, just be there. You know, often when we say, I'll be there for you, it means, like, I'll be there for you the way I would like you to be. You know, like, I'll change you into somebody I'd like to be with, and when that happens, I'll really be there with you, you know. Oh boy. But, so I was just looking at you, you know, not big. But you seem to know what I'm talking about. Okay, so the point here is that, so this quality of being there is not about some preconditions. It's just about being able to basically turn down the volume of the mind so that we can turn up the ability to listen. And this little practice we did earlier of noticing when our mind drifts off and coming back to breath is an incredibly powerful way to train the mind to be able to listen. And here I wanted to pay tribute to one of the world's greatest group of peacemakers, which are the Quakers. You know, if you really study the history of organizations who've made a tremendous contribution in the field of stopping major conflicts in the world, you know, often if you really trace it back, you find that the Quakers have played a tremendous, unseen, unheard role. And they're really valued as not exactly brokers, but I would say like message carriers between one side and another. Why? Because those people are trained to listen. And they are trained to accurately report without commentary what they heard. So for someone to be able to hear, you know, what General so-and-so is saying, and then go on a journey and go and meet President so-and-so and say to President so-and-so, this is exactly what General so-and-so said to me. It's invaluable. Because most intermediaries are incapable of doing it. And some of you may have figured out how to do this, but most of us have the greatest difficulty just doing that in the most ordinary circumstances. Because we're constantly got our box of watercolors out, and we're painting all kinds of things all over the bare bones of the message. So it's not surprising that tremendous confusion arises. So I want to ask you to practice this very briefly. And there's a very simple method of doing this. There's someone next to you. So what we're going to do, it's very simple, is that we're going to take like 2 minutes, and you're going to just pair up with this person. It'll be a very interesting moment. And one of you decides that you're going to be the listener, and the other one's going to be the speaker. Okay? And the listener's job, and this is the person who has to do the hard work here, is to say, okay, when he strikes the gong, and I'm going to listen to that person for 2 minutes. I'm just going to listen to them. It's okay, it might be incredibly painful what they're going to say. It was only 2 minutes, folks. So let's just try it. And the person who's going to speak is just going to say why it was important to them to come to something called making peace possible. It can be anything you want to say. Like, my whole life is for shit, and I would go to anything. And I saw this thing, and I'm here. That's it. That's fine, you know? Or you may say, you know, I really care so much about the world. Whatever your song is, you just sing it. And I'll stop you at 2 minutes, and if you haven't got 2 minutes worth to say, that's okay, you can shut up. And the job of the other person is to hang in with that person and just try and listen. And then I'm going to ring the gong, and then the person who is listening is going to tell the other person what they heard them say. Whoa, that's going to be so interesting. Oh, okay, without commentary, without judgment, without saying that's so great or anything like that. It's just like, this is what I heard, okay? And then we're going to swap. So it won't take long, but I tell you, This never fails to amuse. Okay, so everybody just find a partner. It's okay. You don't have to tell them your name. It's fine. Okay, and then I'm going to hit the gong. Okay. All right, so now decide who's going to speak and who's going to listen. Okay, now. Okay, so I'm going to get totalitarian here for a minute. Peacemaker turned fascist. Now, okay, so are you all clear who's going to speak and who's going to listen? Okay, so the listeners, get ready to listen, and the speakers get ready to speak, and when I strike the gong, you start speaking, and when I strike the gong again, you stop, and await instructions. Okay.
And I needed the break. It wasn't drinking. That's kind of what I'm doing when I get there. It was
So in that sense, I was able to talk to other people who are also interested
my closet.
Things for the feet.
That's kind of why I'm here. I don't think any. I don't think so. I don't think I can talk for 2 minutes. Alright, well why don't we just take this
And future aspirations. You're going to write them down. I've got an expression for you. I'll write this down. Your little pad here. Where is it?
and I'm sad that I was so
Pretty good.
Okay, now the person who listened, please tell the person who spoke what you heard them say.